They can be things like tickets. They can be things like meals and other things of value. As long as it has value, it can satisfy that quo in the quid pro quo.
New details tonight as federal prosecutors investigate gifts a businessman allegedly gave to Mayor LaToya Cantrell. A legal storm may be swirling around the New Orleans mayor. Our sources tell us to expect Cantrell's former bodyguard, Jeffrey Vappy, to be indicted any day now.
Yeah, but there may be another indictment soon, and that could mean trouble for the mayor. WWL Louisiana investigator David Hammer broke the news months ago about suspicions involving a businessman and a city worker being fired. And here's what David learned today.
Several sources expect a federal indictment in the next month of someone tied closely to Mayor LaToya Cantrell, businessman Randy Farrell. Farrell owns IECI, a building and electrical inspection company that checks on the safety of most home construction work in the city. It's work that's worth millions of dollars for Farrell's company. As we first reported in March, federal prosecutors have proof that Farrell pushed Cantrell to fire a city official who was investigating him and could have forced him to lose big business. Last December, Cantrell denied wrongdoing in an interview with our Katie Moore.
I've never had any conversations with anyone, Randy Farrell or anyone else, relative to who I need to put in place in leadership to make it easy for anybody.
But records show Cantrell did fire Jennifer Cecil, the deputy director of the city's Safety and Permits Department, after having conversations with Farrell and his associates. Matt Chester prosecuted former Mayor Ray Nagin for bribery in 2014. He said the big question is, did this mayor get anything in return?
I mean, you're talking about the quo and the quid pro quo, right? You'd want to see, is there anything of value given by Mr. Farrell or anybody associated with Mr. Farrell to the mayor or anybody at City Hall that helped undertake these efforts?
Our sources say prosecutors now have that. They say Farrell began giving Cantrell gifts while Cecil was investigating him for allegedly falsifying permits and inspecting his own electrical work. Starting with the hottest ticket in town at the time, the NFC Championship game in January 2019. 6 months later, records show the Inspector General was closing in on Farrell. Sources tell us that's when Farrell took Cantrell to a fancy lunch. And a few days later, Farrell's business partner urged Cantrell to fire Cecil. We got a secret recording of that meeting.
So since Jennifer Cecil is the backbone of charging me with things, and the directors, both directors signed off on it, who do I go to if I want to speak to against her?
Do you believe that we have what we need internally to fill leadership gaps should any become open? So like running one stop, that sort of thing.
3 days after that recording, records show Cantrell fired Cecil. Prosecutors have a 5-year deadline to charge certain crimes, meaning they might have to get an indictment within the next month.
You know, you're talking about potential official acts taking place in August of 2019. That would be the kind of timing you'd be looking at August of 2024.
But our sources say the gifts continued after August 2019. Farrell was business partners with a big Cantrell supporter, convicted felon Fouad Ziton. Sources tell us Ziton used Farrell's money to buy Cantrell a top-of-the-line smartphone shortly after Cecil was fired. David Hammer, WWL Louisiana.
Farrell was already convicted and sentenced in a separate federal tax fraud case. His attorney, Rick Simmons, declined to comment on these new allegations. So did Ziton's lawyer, Dave Cursell. Cantrell's attorney, Eddie Castang, did not respond.